Howdy folks, working on the truck today. 2019 F350 dually, obviously, as we're looking at it right now. I already have a video out about front brakes, so we'll do one now about the rear brakes. Let's get to it. First thing, jack it up. You should put jack stands and all that underneath it, all that fun and happy stuff. I believe they're 21 millimeter, but I'm using a 7/8 socket. So let's bust the wheels off. And the Milwaukee impact. I have no help today, so I apologize for the shaky camera and all that fun stuff. But let me find all these lug nuts and we'll get back to it. Alright. I think the rest, oh, this side's loose. If it's not loose, these are hub-centric wheels instead of lug-centric. Seven, missing one more, there's 8. Alright, I got all my lug nuts. So anyway, these are hub-centric and not lug-centric wheels. So if you look, there's a bunch of gap around the lug stud, but they're right on the hub, right here. So the center hole is what centers the wheel on the axle, not the lugs. So these can be a bear to come off sometimes. You gotta get a pry bar or... What worked on the other side, I just took a, I think a 4-pound sledge, not on the rim, but on the tire, front tire, just a couple times it busted loose, and you could shake it off. But, yeah, then you just wobble. Easier with 2 hands, but you just wobble it back and forth, like so. So it pops off. Get your wheels out of the way. Alright. Got all my lug nuts. I got all my lug nuts. So, next order of business. The next order of business is to compress the caliper. So I just use a big C-clamp. Shove it in and like so. Yeah, see, not on the bleeder, not on the line. There's the bleeder and the line here on the back level spot, and on a pad on the inside right there. So I'll tighten that down. Sorry, one-handed again. And that'll suck the caliper in, pushing the pistons into the caliper. So that'll loosen her up, make room for our new pads. Okay, so as you can see, it's tightened down a little bit, so I don't have to hold it. You just crank the C-clamp, tighten it. It'll pull this caliper, since the rotor's stationary, this pad is stationary, this is stationary, so it's pulling the C-clamp, which will pull the calipers, which will push the pistons into the caliper. Just give it a couple turns, let the fluid work its way back through the lines to the master. or in this case probably over the other side since I already did that one. But yeah, so went the pistons in all the way. Some people do this once they take the caliper off, they just put a pad in there and clamp it down, but I find it's easier on the vehicle still. Alright, so this gets them most of the way down. I might have to compress them a little bit more off the vehicle just to get the new pads to fit. But yeah, next thing's these two bolts right here. There's one right there and one up top right there. I'm using a 5/8, and these are the caliper mounting bolts. So just bust those loose. There's one. And two. So take your nuts off and your bolts off. Alright, grab yourself a bungee or some zip ties if you so choose that. Up there on the inner fender well, there's a hole. Put your bungee in there, and on the other side I hooked it on the exhaust hanger. Looks like this one I'll put it on the U-bolt, but let me get that hung up and then I'll show you what I did. I didn't like how it hooked, so just hooked it on itself. That'll do. So I'm gonna put a pad on there, get those pistons the rest of the way in. So I guess to do that I need a pad, so you wiggle your pads around. You can get a screwdriver or a wrench in there. And work on prying those babies out of there. It's kind of a two-hand job, so yeah. There's one. Work your way in there. There's two. While I'm in there, I'll pop these clips off. Easier. Remember to wear safety glasses. And these ones are really dusty, so you might want to wear a little mask or something. I don't know why. They're so gross and dusty. Just with a wrench. Three. Number 4. Again. Okie dokie. Oh. Squeeze those pistons in real quick. Alright, now we're going to get this thing ready to go back together. So, first things first, you take your pins here, pull them out. Careful not to tear the boot. I want to put a touch of the Permatex Ceramic Extreme Brake Parts Lubricant on the shaft and shove them back in the hole. Alright, got a little lube on them. Shove them back in. Push them all the way down. Make sure your boot's back over the little lip for moisture. We'll do the bottom one now. Be careful not to tear it, because that's what keeps your caliper sliding, and if water gets in there, it'll get seized up and your caliper will get seized on and you'll fry your brakes and your rotors more than likely. Okay, the next things where your clips went, take a wire brush, clean them up. This is the part you really definitely want safety glasses, maybe a mask. Alright. I got the Napa Fleets. These come with hardware. I know your Duralast Golds come with hardware. Normal Duralasts do not. So, want to pay attention when you're taking the clips off to see how they go on. There's 4 on each side. There's a little piece right there sticking out that goes away from the rotor. So just line them up and take your little hammer or a wrench and beat on them to get them in the slots there. And yeah, just make sure you do that to all 4 of them, and I'll come back when that's done. Alright, so got the new pads. You're gonna put some brake lube on those ears right there before slapping them up in there. So we'll do that. And you'll put them in just like that in the clips. They can be a pain in the butt. Alrighty, we got both pads in. I'm not gonna lie, that was a pain in those damn clips. Worst vehicle I've done them on. So next order of business is slap your caliper over the pads. Make sure you're pushing these pins in, and you can grab your bolts, line them up with the hole, and bolt them onto that pin again like they were. Alrighty, just gonna put your wheels back on, tighten them up, and you're done. That's how you do the brakes, rear brakes on your Superduty here. So, yep, thanks for watching. Have a good one, people. Stay crazy.